Dear students, I am SIVAKUMAR from Sri Vidya Mandir Metric Higher Secondary School from Uttangarai. Dear students, today we are going to start 12th chapter, 12th standard, 11th chapter, Biogeology textbook. The topic is Biodiversity and Its Conservation. Biodiversity and its conservation. The subtopic name is Species and Area Relationship. Dear students, first we should understand what is biodiversity and its conservation. Why we want to study the topic? Why means the biodiversity, it is very important for human life. Not only for the human life, the global, all the living things are life cycle totally based on non-living things. You know one thing? Ecosystem. What is the meaning of ecosystem? The ecosystem including two factors. One is the biotic component, second one is abiotic components. Biotic components are origin from the abiotic components. Animals and plants and microbes are called which is abiotic components. Remaining water, soil, temperature and other resources are abiotic component, non-living organism. So the two factors are including, that is called ecosystem. So ecosystem including, one is the biotic, second one is abiotic. See, that ecosystems are included, that is called environment. From the environment, many are varieties of life forms from the earth. Varieties of life forms are from the earth. That is called biodiversity. So what is the meaning of biodiversity? Many ecosystem. Ecosystem which means biotic components and abiotic components. The two factors are including, that is called ecosystem. Many ecosystems are composed environment. From the environment, particular or restricted area, presence of or varieties of life forms. Varieties of life form present in the particular area of the earth surface. That is called biodiversity. That should be protected. Why we want to protect? Which means the human life and other global cycles are totally dependent on the, which is an environment, climate conditions, ecosystem and varieties of life forms. Including human life cycles also totally depend on the wildlife conservation. Our Indian government, it was taken the articles in 1972. In 1972, our country Indian governments, it was taken the articles in 1972. We want to conserve the biodiversity. We want to conserve the biodiversity because India is a mega biodiversity country. Throughout the worldwide, 215 countries are there. 215 countries are there. Among the 215 countries, 25 countries only, that is biodiversity countries. That in mega biodiversity country, 12. Mega biodiversity countries are available 12. That in number one place, India. India is the richest varieties of living thing from at surface areas. So India otherwise called a mega biodiversity country. We want to protect that. A reason, human being and other life form, organic life form totally depend on the, which is wildlife resources. So the wildlife resources we should protect because of we are going to study the topic which is biodiversity and its conservation. That result, the great scientist, German naturalist, who is that? The German naturalist Mr. Alexander von Humboldt, German naturalist, he was studied the particular area which is South American jungles, I mean South American forest, which is South American forest. It was observed by the German naturalist, the great scientist Alexander von Humboldt. He is deeply observed and researched the topic. I mean verified the areas from that South American jungle forest. Species richness. What is the meaning of species richness? New organism. I mean from the parent population to child populations are gradually increased from the particular regions. Which regions? South American jungle, I mean a forest. They are going to research why that particular area increase the populations. Reason from that areas, the geographical areas. The geographical areas and species lifestyle, the species lifestyle both are coincide. The climate condition, it is coincide with the species. So that reason from that area, number of angiosperm plants and other bird populations, freshwater organism, for example fishes and other organisms are from the South American forest, I mean South American jungles areas gradually increase. So that the two events are, they are given the explanation by which is Alexander von Humboldt, a simple logarithmic scale. The log S equal to log C plus Z log A, which means, see, observe the graph. They are explained. One of the zone is which is species richness areas. Second one is area relationship. Area relationship, which means from that area ecosystem. What is the meaning? Ecosystem. The weathering conditions from that area both are coincide. So the populations are increased, gradually increase. Simply the examples. First one is S mean species richness, which means the species are gradually increased. Why? That what are the species increase here? That the climate condition, which means area relationship, coincide with both are. So that the two event is support to increase the populations. So in a slope the line, which means the gradual populations are increased. They are explained to the formula. Next one is species area relationship, very large scale, which means from the South American jungles. I mean the forest. The large scale. What does it mean large scale? Population increasing. Which populations? Bird populations. Second one is mammals. And another one, why that the bird population, mammal populations are increased from the particular region, which means the birds are completely related to forest. Normally we are going to talk about any other particular regions, the forest areas will be survival will be increased. The reasons from that area, the bird populations may increase. Otherwise, not possible to the forest areas cannot increase. Because of the birds are eating the seeds, fruits, many vegetables are going to eat. That seeds are passed through the forest, automatically they are going to germinate the plant. So throughout the event, the forest areas may automatically increase by the bird population activities. The bird populations, parts of bodies may utilized by the mammals. So the mammal populations may increase from the forest. So the species area relationship. One is the large scale may increase by the increase the bird population. Mammal population may increase. Main result, it is both are coincident with the natural ecosystems. Next one, tropical forests differ from the continents in a steeper line from the 1.5 for every years. What is the meaning of tropical forest? The forests are, we are going to classify it in many categories. Desert forest, tropical forest, subtropical forest, grassland forest. Much of forests are there, particularly the tropical forest and the subtropical forest. Tropical forest and subtropical forest both are, the climate conditions, it is suitable for which is the animal population and the plant populations are they going to increasing process. They will support weathering condition, I means aerations, temperature, availability of food resources, that all the conditions. Another one, many animal populations are escape from the predators. They want to adapt the climate. That forest should be there high density. So wherever high density, which means more availability of plants, that will form high density of forest. The high density of forest, understand, many animals are adapt there. So adapting of the animals, richness of the plant populations, both are only available depend on the which is in a tropical forest and a subtropical forest. So tropical forest means temperature area. Subtropical forest, moderate temperature. Sometimes temperature high, sometimes temperature will be below. So that climate conditions, it is favored for increase or richness of the angiospermic plants, and another one is animal populations may increase. So the both are suitable, which is tropical forest and the subtropical forest. The steeper line, which means throughout the graphs we can understand that subtropical forest, tropical forest increase the plant populations, support to increase the animal populations. So you can understand through the graphs. Next one is the importance of biodiversity. Importance of biodiversity, global level and India level. Importance of biodiversity, global level and India levels. See, already I told you, the biodiversity available countries are totally 25. Among the 25, richness biodiversity countries are 12. The 12 countries are called which is mega biodiversity countries. I mean, large scale of species, variety which is been many new form organisms are developed. So that the global level and India level, why they are going to important, which means the global resource, the economical background totally depend on the which is forest resources, availability of food and weathering conditions. I mean climate conditions. The climate condition, it is depend on the which is biodiversity. Just 5 minutes before I clearly explained what is the meaning of biodiversity. Varieties of life forms on the earth. For example, we are taking the forest. The forest we can call which is biodiversity, because from the forest many different types of plants are there. Angiosperm plant, gymnosperm plant. Okay, that likes many different types of plants are there. At the same time, fauna also. Fauna means animals. Varieties of animal population, reptiles, arthropod, insect, understand, and other vertebrate. Invertebrate group of animals are large scale available in the earth surface from the forest. So the forest otherwise called biodiversity. So that is the meaning. Biodiversity, which means varieties of life forms on the earth, that they are going to significant. Reason, differ from the species. One animal compared to another is totally different. Life cycle, food habit and adaptation place are totally different. So that the different types of climate adaptations, animal behaviors may chance to increase the species population. So the species suddenly how they can increase, not possible. When the climate condition coincide with the animal population, the animal population make a small changes. That small changes are to completely isolate from the majority population. They are going to separate. They are going to maintain individual life cycles. They are going to maintain individual life cycle. That is called as species formations. So that the species difference, which means are different from the one population other populations. I mean population, I meaning flora, which means a plant, fauna, which means animal, and the microbes also. See, they are going to compare the microbes. Microbes are not even. Bacteria, virus, fungi, algae, and protozoans. Many microbes are there. So microbe also, there are varieties of forms. So microbial biodiversity, we can call that name. So totally different one from others. Next one, inhabited different from the ecosystems, rainforest, coral reefs. What is the meaning of coral reefs? I mean polar pari that is present in which is deep location of the ocean region. That is a coral reef. The coral reefs also totally differ. Surface region of the sea water and the ocean water. The availability of population totally different. Second one is grassland. Grassland forest, other grassland locations are totally different from the inhabited species. I means the ecosystem totally different from the one to others. I told you desert. Desert also compared to grassland totally, both climate are different. Desert ecosystem, grassland ecosystem. What are the both difference? From the desert, more aeration, but availability of water and other biological species very less from the desert. From the grassland, availability of water, aeration, availability of living thing forms, more populations are there here. So compare both, totally different, but both are diversity. Commonly we are called diversity, but in a climate condition, I mean ecosystem, ecological situations, both are different. Andhra Pradesh, it is traditional point, which means you see that the season only different compared to the three regions. Next one is polar ice caps, which is polar ice caps totally different from the three ecological situations. Majority of mammals and other aquatic organisms only they can live here. Tropical zone animals and plants, subtropical zone animals and plants, they cannot live here. So the ice caps, polar region, climate condition not coincide with the tundra animals and plants, desert animals and plants, and the grass animals and plants. Next one, that all the network systems are verified by the another scientist, Paul Ehrlich. He was proposed a revealed purple hypothesis. Revealed purple hypothesis means loss of species diversity, I mean the richness species diversity, loss from the ecosystem. Loss from the ecosystem. Because the climate condition will be changed. For example, global warming. What is the meaning of global warming? Suddenly, the earth average temperature increase. Earth average temperature increase. And that result, what are the populations are cannot maintain the body temperature through the increasing temperatures, so that most of the plant animals are going to destroy. Understand? So ecological communities, one is the biotic component, second one is abiotic components, both are not coincide, so loss of living thing, which means species they are going to dead or dead conditions. That is the meaning, which is loss of species diversity. So throughout this revealed purple hypothesis, the great scientist Paul Ehrlich proposed the concept, which is loss of species diversity, which means the number of living things, plant and animals are destroyed from the earth, major components which is depend on the climate changes. The climate changes may last two species. Species is nothing but a living organism. That may be a plant or animals. Maybe plant or animals. So the Paul Ehrlich proposed in a revealed purple hypothesis, loss of species diversity. That is the concept. Next one is importance of biodiversity. What are the concept? Improve the biodiversity. In the future, what step you should take and improve that parts? First one is ecosystem services. Ecosystem, which means the ecological. Explained. What is the meaning of ecosystem? Ecosystems are including biotic components. Second one is abiotic components. As a human, we should increase from the earth surface, which is ecosystem. We should give the service to ecosystem improving process. We should create the pond ecosystem. We should create the forest. We should create the rivers, resources. Waterfall should be increased. So throughout the event, the biodiversity, I mean the population may increase. Number of plants also increase from the water resources. Number of animals and plants are increased from the forest resources. In even desert climate also we can improve. Not destroy the earth surface and grassland areas. From the desert, what are the living things are available there. From that area we should provide the nutrient, that we should form the artificial climate for the living things are stay from the desert climate. That is the meaning we should the ecological service importance. Second one is biological resources. Biological resource means increase the animal population, increase the plant population. Increase the animal population, increase the plant populations. So that is important. Next one, social benefit of biodiversity. Social, which means society. Which society? Animal society and plant society, human populations. So between this plant population, animal population and other human beings, both three are interlinked. Where from interlink? Throughout the food requirements, throughout the human applications, manufacturing the product. Every human beings we need nutrients. That the nutrients we are collect from the plant and animals. The plant animals are available more from the wild places. I mean the forest, river and other water resources, availability of food resources. When we are going to suffer in a food crimes, at the immediately we are going to search where available the food, which means we are going to cutting down the trees from the forest, harvesting the poultry cultures, animals, we are able to use the food resources. So that should be improved. Because of we are going to we should service social benefit of the biodiversity. Social, which means the biodiversity is well built in our countries. From our country populations are lifestyle will be changed, our body immune system we can improve. That is the importance, which is social benefits of the biodiversity. Biodiversity are well, human populations are well, animal populations are well, and plant populations are well. That is the important. Next one is ecosystem throughout the worldwide affected depend on the which is richness of biodiversity. We should carefully observe that we should give the more importance to biodiversity, improve the biodiversity, that is more benefit to human population, animal population and plant populations. Here the scientist Paul Ehrlich, what they will say, ecosystem throughout the worldwide affected depend on the biodiversity richness. The biodiversity population increase, I mean the plant and animals may increase, its affect over lifestyles, or animal population may increase, affect, and human population may affect. Reason, more animal population, more plant population may increase, human population may increase, what will happens? The requirements needed also increase, may essential, food essential, cloth essential, shelter, many purpose every day we must need. So that purpose we are going to move where available or we should be product. We are going to search where availability of more food, where will be stay, which is safety places we are going to search. And plants also they are going to search. That purpose we should manufacture, artificial we are going to manufacture, the results in a basic requirements also we search and taken from the forest and fresh water and ocean water resources from the locations completely suffer. Understand? So the dangerous ecosystem throughout the worldwide affected by depend on the biodiversity richness. So population suddenly should not increase, suddenly should not decrease. I am telling population, which means three categories. One is the plant, animals and the human beings. The three category populations are suddenly should not increase. That is very dangerous to globals. The three category populations are suddenly should not decrease. It is also very dangerous to global. So the population, I mean biodiversity richness are neutralized should be by the human activities. Next one's continuity of nutrients cycles through the biogeochemical cycle. What is the meaning of biogeochemical cycles? Biogeochemical cycle, which means the biological process we are taken from the ocean water. I mean availability of ocean water, that ocean water provide to rainwater, rainwater provide to earth surface, from the earth surface taken by the plant is consumed by other animals, animals are consumed by humans, human lives when will be complete, we are going to death, again we are buried to soil, again that soil receive the materials, it is provided to the water, throughout the rainwater, it is going to sea water, again to rainwaters. So that is a cyclical event. that event should be perfectly maintained. Continuity of nutrient cycles throughout the biogeochemical cycle. Bio means biological organism provide the components. It is goes to rainwater. Rainwater pass to ocean water. Ocean water again may pass to rainwater. So it has come to earth surface. From the earth come to the plant. Plant they will reach to animals. Animals are may reach to human beings. Human beings may reach to again soil. That is the meaning. See, next one is that nitrogen, carbon, water and phosphorus and sulfurs are, they should maintain cyclical event. Next one is soil formations. So throughout the biological richness, we should maintain soil formation. I mean spirogenesis. Perfectly should maintain soil health condition should be maintained. Next one, increase the ecosystem. Increase the ecosystem means grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem and desert ecosystem, tropical zone, subtropical zone ecosystem, I mean the forest ecosystem. Every day should be increased but should not increase the abnormal ranges. Next one is climate stability. Climate temperature, we want to maintain perfectly. We should perfectly maintain. The forest is very essential for rainfalls, temperature regulation. Second one is CO2 absorption. That means throughout the plant photosynthesis, you can maintain process. Temperature means they are also completed to photosynthesis. Next one is maintain the ecological balance. I mean biotic component. Second one is abiotic components. Biological component required materials are provided by abiotic. Abiotic components required material provided by the biotic components. Should be neutralized. Next one, ecological stabilities. Varieties of species should be richness in the organisms. They should improve. To provide the unique aesthetic means worldwide values it provides. Next one, an indicator of the health and the ecosystem. Indicator of health ecosystem means the ecological balance should give the more importance and improve the process. Dear students, the topic is over. Remaining 2-3 pages are there. That the remaining 3 pages topic I will explain next video. Fully observe this video. Very clearly observe. If you need more information, give the comments. I will meet the next video. Thank you.